stop for a moment and listen, because what I am about to tell you is not written in any book you've read, nor spoken in any church you've attended. There is a way to call money in such a way that it knows your name and only your name, not as a vague wish, not as a desperate plea, but as a spiritual claim so precise that the unseen must deliver it. Most people throw their desires into the air like loose papers in the wind, wondering why nothing ever lands in their hands. But there exists a divine secret, a way to mark your money in the invisible realm so that no one else can claim it. Once you understand this law, wealth will stop passing you by, because in the language of spirit, it will already belong to you. You have called for money before. You have prayed for it, worked for it, chased it, and yet, much of the time it has slipped through your fingers like water through a net. Why? Because you never marked it. You see, in the unseen, there is no confusion, unless you create it. Spirit does not deal in half-formed wishes, in passing thoughts, in I hope, and maybe someday. The law responds to a claim, a deliberate, unmistakable command that marks what you desire as belonging to you, and until you do this, your request floats in the invisible like an unaddressed letter. Money is not wandering the earth aimlessly. Every dollar already has an assignment. If you do not assign it to yourself, someone else will. The law is exact. It delivers to the clearest claimant. Just as a package at the post office will never reach you unless your name and address are written on it, the wealth you want will never arrive until you write your spiritual tag on it in the unseen. And here is where most fail. They think desire is enough, but desire without specificity is noise in the ether. I have seen many souls plead for more money, and when it came, it was only in small drips, a forgotten coin in a couch cushion, a few extra dollars on a paycheck. They had called, yes, but without a tag. Spirit answered their vagueness with vague results. You must begin to understand. The unseen is precise. The invisible laws of supply are as orderly as mathematics. Just as 2 + 2 will never equal 3, an untagged desire will never find its way to you. The law of spiritual tagging is the act of speaking your claim so clearly, so deliberately, that it is as if you have engraved your name upon the very energy of the money you seek. Let me paint the picture for you. Imagine two farmers standing before a vast, fertile field. Both toss seeds into the soil. One farmer knows exactly where each seed is planted. He marks the rows, waters them, tends to them. The other farmer simply scatters seeds without care or record, forgetting where they fell. Now tell me, whose harvest will be gathered? The law of the soil is the same for both, but only one knew where to look, because he marked what was his. Money follows this same principle. The tag is your mental and spiritual signature. It is the command that says, "This is mine, prepared for me by divine right, and no one else can claim it." Without this, your money wanders. It might even come close to you, but if the vibration of your claim is not strong enough, it will be intercepted by someone whose tag is stronger. The unseen is not sentimental. It responds to authority. When you tag your money, you must see it. You must know its purpose. You must call it by name. Do not simply say, "I need money." Instead say, "The $10,000 prepared for me by divine order is now marked with my name. It knows where I am, and it is finding me now." This is not fantasy. It is alignment. The moment you speak it, you have placed your signature in the unseen, and the law begins moving it toward you. But understand this, your tag is not just words. Words are the brush, but belief is the ink. You cannot mark your money if you are secretly convinced it is too much, too far, or too late. The universe will only deliver what you truly claim, not what you timidly wish for. Many people speak powerful words, but mix them with the ink of doubt, and so the mark fades before the money arrives. This is why your tag must be renewed daily in your mind, until the manifestation stands before you, not with desperation, for desperation is the language of loss, but with certainty. A tagged package at the post office is not worried about whether it will arrive. It already bears the name, the address, the stamp. It is inevitable, and if, as you listen now, you feel your mind wandering or your faith dulling, take this moment as a refresher. Pull your focus back and remind yourself, if I do not tag it, I cannot claim it. Every coin, every bill, every opportunity I desire must be marked in the unseen, or it will remain unassigned. Let this truth stir you awake again. You may say, but what if someone else is also calling for the same money? Then know this, your tag is unique. Just as two people may share a name, but not the same fingerprint, the spiritual signature you place on your money cannot be duplicated. What is marked for you cannot be taken from you. The law will not confuse one claim with another. You are not competing in the physical marketplace for scraps. You are making a direct claim in the spiritual marketplace, where there is no shortage. There is enough for all, but only the tagged is delivered. Spirit is not moved by noise or numbers, only by the authority of a clear, unwavering claim. From this day forward, stop scattering your requests loosely into the ether. Tag them, speak them, see them, hold them in your mind until they have taken on the form of reality so clearly that the physical must obey the invisible. The law is impartial. It will deliver whatever is tagged. And here is the mystery you must remember. Once tagged, money will begin to move toward you in ways you cannot predict. Opportunities will rise, people will appear, paths will open. Do not doubt because you cannot see the route. The route is not your job. Your only work is to mark your claim and keep it marked until delivery. There is a moment, a divine split second, when the mind is most open to spiritual imprinting. Most people rush through their days unaware of it, never realizing they have missed their richest opportunity to mark their money in the unseen. The law of spiritual tagging does not require long hours of chanting or complex rituals. It requires timing, precision, and faith that moves without hesitation. The exact moment to tag your money is when the seed of desire first rises in your mind, before doubt has time to wrap itself around it, before reason begins its weary questioning, before you begin measuring your worthiness against the sum you seek. That first spark of desire is pure. It is the voice of spirit whispering, "This is already yours." And if you are quick, you can seal that moment with your tag, before the world's noise drowns it out. You see, desire is not something you manufacture. It is a telegram from the infinite. It arrives carrying the stamp of possibility and the mark of divine intention. But it is fragile in its first breath, like a candle just lit. It can be snuffed out with the faintest breeze of fear. That is why, the very instant the idea comes, I will have this sum, I will enjoy this opportunity, I will live in this provision, you must act. You must put your spiritual signature on it immediately. Let me tell you something. The enemy of manifestation is not lack of work. It is delay. Delay is the thief of the spiritual marketplace. The moment you hesitate, that untagged claim drifts into the field of others who are faster to claim, not because they are more deserving, but because they obeyed the law without hesitation. The unseen does not deal in pity. It deals in certainty. I once observed a woman who understood this law instinctively. She was not wealthy in the worldly sense, yet every time she saw something she desired, a sum of money, a gift, a property, she would stop, close her eyes for a brief moment, and whisper, "I mark it mine by divine right, and nothing can keep it from me." She did this instantly, before her mind could talk her out of it, and time after time, those very things found their way to her, often in unexpected ways. She had mastered the timing. This is where you must train yourself. The world has taught you to think about it, to be realistic, to weigh your options. But in the unseen, the law works opposite to the way the world trains you. Spirit moves on boldness, not on cautious debate. The moment you receive the impulse, you must act, not in the physical first, but in the spiritual. Speak it, see it, seal it. That is your tag. Now let us speak plainly. If you tag your money when your spirit is flat, when you are filled with worry, or when your mind is scattered, the mark will be faint. Just as ink needs paper that will absorb it, your words need a mind that is receptive. This is why another perfect moment to tag your money is upon waking, before the day's dust has settled on your consciousness. The mind is open then, not yet cluttered with yesterday's disappointments or today's demands. I often tell my students, your first conversation each morning should not be with the world, it should be with the infinite. In that first quiet moment, when the bridge between the seen and unseen is still intact from sleep, your tags carry extraordinary power. Speak them aloud. See the money as already yours. Call it by name, by amount, by purpose. You are engraving it in the invisible vault, and the law will not forget. And what of those times when you are struck suddenly by need, when an unexpected expense appears, or an opportunity requires quick provision? Do not speak in panic. That is when you must remember this law most. Still yourself. Remember, the unseen is never in emergency. It is always in abundance, and from that stillness tag your money with authority. This is my provision by divine appointment. I call it in now, and it cannot be delayed or denied. The power is not in the desperation. It is in the unshakable certainty that the law is already moving. Let me give you an example. A man I knew once needed a large sum for a business opportunity. He had hours, not weeks. Instead of running from person to person asking for help, he went into a quiet room, stilled his mind, and tagged the exact amount in the unseen. It is mine by right of divine supply, he said. It knows where I am. It is already on its way. Within that very afternoon, an old client called unexpectedly with a payment he had long forgotten was owed to him, the exact amount, to the penny. The timing was not coincidence, it was law in motion. Now I will give you this warning, so you will not fall into the trap that catches many. Once you have tagged your money, do not keep scratching at it to see if it is growing. The farmer does not dig up the seed every morning to check. He trusts the soil. The moment you tag your money, release it into the law and go about your work with confidence. Obsessive checking is a form of doubt, and doubt will smudge your mark. Your work is to tag with clarity, believe without shaking, and keep your spirit tuned to receive. For sometimes the money will come through channels you have never considered. If you demand it come only one way, you may miss its arrival. Keep your tag clear, but keep the route open. And if at any time you feel your faith fading, refresh your tag. This is not repeating in desperation. This is strengthening the ink of your spiritual signature. In the same way a legal signature can be notarized to hold even greater authority, your tag can be renewed with deliberate attention. Whisper it again, see it again, and know that it is done. The law rewards the one who moves quickly in the spirit. It answers to precision, not to wandering thoughts. The exact moment to tag your money is the moment you hear the inner call of desire, the holy whisper that says, "This belongs to you." Act then, and act fully. Do not delay. Do not ask if it is possible. The possibility was born in the same instant as the desire. Your only work is to claim it in the unseen and stand until it is delivered in the seen. When you tag your money in the unseen, you are not just speaking into empty air. You are writing a legal decree in the court of spirit. And in that court, language matters. The law of the unseen does not respond to vague hopes or emotional outbursts. It responds to clear, precise, faith-filled commands. You must speak as one who has already been granted authority, not as one begging to be heard. The words you use are not a performance, they are a signature. And just as a legal signature must match exactly every time to carry weight, the language of your tag must be consistent. If you call your money one thing today and something else tomorrow, the unseen will see the discrepancy. It will wait for you to decide what you are truly calling in. So here is the first secret. Call your money by its exact nature and amount. Do not simply say, "I want money." That is as ineffective as addressing a letter to someone somewhere. The spiritual postmaster cannot deliver what is undefined. Instead, you might say, "I mark as mine the sum of $50,000 for the purchase of my home, by divine right, in perfect timing and in perfect ways." This is not a request. It is a precise claim, already in the ledger of supply. The second secret is to speak in the present tense, as if the delivery is already in motion. The unseen is timeless. It does not operate in someday. When you speak in the future tense, "I will have" or "I'm going to get," you push your supply away from the present moment. You are forever chasing it into tomorrow. Speak instead as one who is already in possession. "I have received, it is mine now. It is here for me." The third secret is to add the seal of divine right. The phrase "by divine right" is not mere poetry. It is your legal clause in the unseen. It tells the law that you are claiming only what is truly yours, what will harm no one, what belongs to you in the harmony of universal order. When you add this seal, you close the door to wrongful gain or crooked channels. You are telling the law, "Bring this to me in such a way that it blesses all and disturbs none." Now I will tell you a story to show you why language matters. A young woman once came to me saying she had been affirming for more money for months, but nothing had happened. I asked her exactly what she had been saying. She replied, "I keep saying, I want more money." I told her, "My dear, the law has been answering you all along. Every time you find a penny on the street, every time a small coin slips into your hand, that is more money. You did not specify. You left the law to its smallest interpretation." Once she began to call her money by amount, purpose, and divine right, her manifestations began to match her desire. Your words must also carry the tone of ownership. Imagine you are the rightful heir to an estate, and you have walked into the court to claim what is already in your name. You would not beg. You would stand in confidence, Present your papers and say, "This belongs to me."